This week, our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Rachel Scott is tracking the campaign from Iowa right now. Dan, let me begin with you. This was a little bit different from the previous arraignments. He actually had this mugshot taken. Did he get any special treatment?
Look, he got the same treatment that any white-collar defendant with a high-priced lawyer who can negotiate bond ahead of time would get, right? That's the key point, is the ability to negotiate bond before you get there allows the process to move very quickly. Did this process move even more quickly? Maybe a little bit. But bottom line is, if you're in this financial situation with a high-priced lawyer in this kind of crime, this is typically what would happen.
I was surprised he didn't pay the full bond. He used a bail bondsman.
Yeah.
10%. That was something.
Yeah.
But we're going to see a lot of different maneuvering right now. We've already seen one of the co-defendants move for a speedy trial. Trump doesn't want that.
Correct. So you have one, possibly more, of the defendants now saying, we want a speedy trial. That is your constitutional right to a speedy trial. And in Georgia, that means you're going to get it. So the defendants who say we want a speedy trial are going to get a speedy trial. The question's going to be, how much can the other defendants, in particular Donald Trump, who does not want a trial moving quickly, going to be able to delay the process? But it is clear to me that there is no way all these defendants are going to end up getting tried together.
Doesn't seem like that. Rachel, we saw Trump's return to Twitter, tweeting out that mugshot. He's raising a lot of money off it.
Donald Trump was fundraising off of that mugshot, George, before his plane even touched down back in Bedminster. And then he made that sudden and surprise turn back to the platform formerly known as Twitter. This was his biggest megaphone for years. He was banned after January 6th. Then he posted that mugshot with the words "never surrender," clearly still very defiant, George.
And Rachel, you're in Iowa right now. We saw the debate a couple nights ago. Donald Trump's still the big front runner there in Iowa. What's the mood from what you can tell on the ground?
4 indictments, 91 charges total, and he still has a commanding lead in this race. Most Republican voters standing by the former president, but I have definitely talked to a lot of Republican voters here in Iowa who tell me they are keeping an open mind. They say that they could still back someone else. They worry this could become a distraction for the Republican Party. And of course, this remarkable split screen playing out while the former president was being booked and processed in Georgia. His closest rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, was back out here on the campaign trail. He told me he doesn't want this to overwhelm the party, but of course it is casting a very big shadow, George.
Dan, I want to go back to the timing. This is the 4th felony indictment now for the president. We face 4 possible trials. Any of them happen before the election?
I think the most likely one to happen before the election is either the D.C. federal case or potentially that New York
classified documents case.
Yeah, the classified documents case, or the no, actually, the other case, not the classified. Yeah, I think that the classified documents case in front of Judge Cannon likely will not happen before the election. It's the D.C. case that I think actually might happen before the election. I think that's going to be tough, too, though. Look, I think it's probably 50-50 as to whether any of these cases will happen before the election, and Donald Trump is going to do everything he can to extend the timeline.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.